On tap, the Ogden Belgian style triple.
Better beer authority, better beer.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewandowski, and this is your Better Beer Authority. Today, we're going to be drinking the Ogden, a Belgian style triple from the Goose Island Beer Company out of Chicago, Illinois. The Ogden gets its name from Chicago's first mayor, William B. Ogden, who also happened to open the city's first brewery. This triple is brewed and dry hopped with Citra, Brewer's Gold, and Saaz, and then fermented with a Belgian yeast strain. This is meant to balance the spicy tropical American hop flavors with the unique character that comes from the Belgian yeast. The Ogden clocks in at 9% ABV and 35 IBUs and is a national limited release available in 4-packs of 12-ounce bottles. It currently receives an 88 from Beer Advocate and an 87 from Rate Beer. Let's see what our panel gives this beer in our blind taste test. Let the blind taste test begin. Nick, what can you tell us about the aroma? Also, does the aroma and the flavor taste really match?
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, it smells kind of spicy and floral, like a Belgian blonde or triple, which it kind of seems like it is. And that definitely carries through on the palate. It's very kind of bold and expands out a lot, and nice little spicy finish on it too. It's very pretty.
Great, thanks, Nick. David, I think Nick alluded to it, but what kind of style do you think this is? I mean, are you pulling anything unique out of this at all?
Just like Nick said, I think this is Belgian blonde as well. You definitely get that sweet funkiness out of it, definitely Belgian yeast. And when you drink it, I mean, the first thing that hits my mouth is there's that bitterness, feels like coriander, and then it kind of mellows out into like banana, a little bit of vanilla. So it's, to me, I think this is definitely Belgian blonde.
Okay. Now, Christina, what are your first thoughts on this? I mean, is this a style you yourself would typically go for?
I'm a pretty big hop head.
Okay.
But I started out liking beers like this, and it was actually pretty tasty. I liked it a lot.
Awesome. Now, Nick, I want your rating on this and why, but also, I mean, would you see this beer as something you would keep in your personal fridge?
Yeah, I mean, to go one at a time, I went 7 on this. It's something I thought was very good and that I would recommend to somebody. And I think when we were talking about before, I said if I would love to see this, like if I were out at a restaurant somewhere and I could get this to have, with a meal or something, I think it would be really nice. I do a fair amount of Belgian stuff and Belgian style stuff at home still. Sure. So yeah, this would fit right in with a lot of the beers that I usually keep around the house. Yeah, I'm more curious to see what it's labeled as, because there's so many ways you could go. This could be labeled a triple, it could be labeled a blonde, but yeah, no, I thought it was very nice.
Awesome, great. Now, David, I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball here as well as your rating. There is something very unique about the hop varietal that's used in this beer. Give me a guess.
I'm going to give it let me tell you rating first. I'm
going
to give it a 7. It's very enjoyable. I like drinking this. I've enjoyed one glass already, and I'm going to polish this one already. All right. So, as far as I go, I like, my session ales, my IPAs, my double IPAs, my stouts, but every now and then I get a craving for a Belgian, and this would be my top. Hey, I'm feeling like a Belgian tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get this. As far as hops goes, man, I really can't tell you. It's I want to say it's going to be like maybe some kind of West Coast hop. I might be going wrong on that. Maybe Simcoe, maybe Cascade. But I can't really pinpoint it because I know that I feel that piney bitterness as well. Like I was mentioning, that coriander, and I can easily say, it's kind of piney as well. But I really can't tell you exactly, what kind of hop it is.
Okay, all right. I'll hold off on revealing that to you just for a moment. Now, Christina, I know you mentioned currently you're a bit of a hop head, but obviously this is also something that you enjoyed, as well. I mean, compared to a lot of the beers that you normally have on a regular basis, I mean, how does this compare with the mouthfeel? I mean, is this something that really, does compare well?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. It's a lot sweeter. But I think it would be a kind of beer. I mean, I rated it a 7 as well. Okay. I thought it would be kind of beer that I would kind of sandwich in between my IPAs. Every once in a while, I don't feel like a super hoppy beer. You know, I had like a little sweet stout here and there, so I feel like this is a nice, you know, a nice change.
Is it a Mosaic or Eldorado?
It is not Mosaic or Eldorado. It is actually Citra. It is actually also a dry hopped Belgian triple. We are having.
Taste that alcoholic.
Oh, and it's a 9%er.
We were talking 7. I mean, that's what we thought.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're having the Ogden from Goose Island. Pass a few of those down.
Thank you.
Now, honestly, I didn't want this to sway your vote, but this was actually sent to us directly from Goose Island.
Wow.
They reached out to us, say maybe about a month or so back, and sent us this to review for them.
That's crazy.
So I didn't want free beer to sway your vote at all. So
Well, he slipped me a 20 beforehand.
right, but I
Before you tell me what you thought.
right,
Well,
but
now I know what it is.
Yeah.
exactly. But I do want to thank Goose Island for it because this
Yes,
was
it's good.
actually very, very nice.
Yes,
Really,
it's
really
good.
enjoyed this.
Fantastic.
So
And I'm not even somebody who's typically a huge Goose Island guy. That's a damn good beer.
awesome.
Good job.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Goose
Yeah,
Island.
yeah,
Really,
thank you, Goose Island.
I really didn't pick it out. They just sent it to us. Now, Nick, you obviously working at Arrowwine, you do have a pretty well curated variety there. Now, say if somebody came in and was looking for something like this, and you didn't have it. I mean, is there something similar that you would recommend?
There's a couple ways you can go. I mean, depending on what's actually available to me at any given moment, I mean, I would lean towards stuff like maybe some of the, like Trappist triples, maybe some like a Westmalle, which isn't going to be, as rich a beer as this, but it's going to have that little extra punch to it. Maybe a Mischief from the brewery, something that's in a similar strength level, but also, has some hop bite to it as well. That would probably be my go-to, actually, would be the Mischief, because I usually have that in stock, and that's something that kind of catches the market for somebody who's looking for something Belgian, golden, or triple-ish in style, but has a little extra hop bite to it. So that'd probably be the way I go.
Great. Now, David, how does this triple compared to others that you've had, especially now knowing the little twist that it has, being dry hopped and adding, a pretty citrusy hop variety?
Okay, well, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, I'm not too big on Belgians. Usually when I drink something that's, Belgian, is usually a Belgian style. Like, one of my Belgians go-to really is actually, I think it's the Republic by D.C. Brown.
Citizen?
Citizens.
Yeah.
Citizens. As a public is their pale ale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Citizen in this case. And so, I mean, I just like that additional, like, coriander, orangey feel that I get behind it. So this is kind of unique to what I like to taste. It's, like I said, every now and then I say, I feel like drinking a Belgian, and I usually go to a farmhouse ale or, go to a Belgian style beer that's not really a Belgian in this case. But this is definitely very enjoyable, and I like it. I mean, this is, if I was to say to myself, hey, I need a Belgian, this is going to be my choice one.
So you ask, do you feel like Belgian tonight? That's
Yeah. Belgian tonight. Get some waffles with it.
That's throwing an old school reference out there. Now, Christina, to kind of wrap this up. Now, a lot of people obviously are aware with Goose Island being owned by AB and Bev. That's, some people that kind of, they turn their nose at the idea of it. Now, if you were to know that this was Goose Island ahead of time, do you think that would have swayed your vote at all?
I don't know. I feel like it kind of doesn't matter where it's from. If you like it, you like it. You can't be too snotty about it, I guess. But yeah, maybe a little bit. It would have swayed my vote, but I would have still been open to trying it.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you never want. You want to keep an open mind, but that something like that would just kind of be right in the back of your mind the whole time.
But here's what I'm saying. I mean, I know that they are owned by AB InBev, but not all their beers are, mass produced, and so I mean, some of them are, but Goose Island is still kind of like their own entity. They still have, they still make their sisters, series, and they're still gonna make probably stuff like this. I mean, if this is mass produced, great. I mean, because actually,
so
very,
good.
very good.
It's very well done.
So, I mean, if you had said to me, this is Goose Island, I don't think I would be swayed by it because I know that I'll enjoy some of their beers, regardless of whether they're owned by a big beer or not, and. This is very good. I mean, I don't see myself, being prejudiced against it.
I think at this point, for me, especially doing what I do, I mean, I don't carry so much of the Goose stuff, and it's really more as much to do with kind of what my customers come up to me and tell me they're looking for,
Okay.
as it is, you know, my comfort or discomfort with ownership or anything like that. And you kind of have to separate. I have to separate the retail buyer side of me from just somebody who's trying beer. And it's just, you know, something that you have to do when you do a job like mine. And I mentioned not being a huge Goose fan, and that's actually pre-buyout.
Okay.
I had tried a decent amount of their lineup before they ever even got bought out. And, you know, it was something I was never really into all their stuff all that much.
Okay.
And I would like to think I wouldn't have judged it any differently in
Right.
one or the other.
Sure, sure.
But, you know, either way, it's a really good beer. I mean, so, you know, you kind of have to keep that in mind at all times and, you know, separate the one function from the other.
True. Yeah. Fair enough. Absolutely. I'm glad you guys, like I said, liked it, and you know, regardless of where it's from, I mean, giving it a solid 7, you can't beat that.
Yeah. Except with Nate.
Well. All right. So Goose Island's the Ogden gets a 7.0 on the BBA scale. Have you had this limited release beer? What do you think of it? Leave us a comment below. Be sure to check us out over at Facebook and Twitter. And again, my name is Andrew Lewandowski, and this has been your Better Beer Authority.
Better Beer Authority. Better Beer Authority.